The one time you come to the hospital to hunt me down, I refused to see you.
No, you didn't refuse. You hid in the kitchen.
And you sat up there in that day room the entire blessed afternoon.
I was not made to feel unwelcome.
Not made to feel unwelcome. You do not have the perception God gave lettuce.
Today's guest is an Emmy and Golden Globe nominated actress who is currently starring in the beautiful new off-Broadway production of Talley's Folly, playing the hilariously named Sally Talley. Of course, you may also know her as Lana Banana. Please welcome Sarah Paulson.
Thank you.
I love that, the rhyming names.
I like this introduction, yes.
I'm glad you approve
yes,
of that. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
How you feeling?
I'm good.
You're in a new hit
here.
show, Extended.
I'm in a new show that's extended. I'm just going to repeat everything you said.
Just do that,
yeah,
that'll be fun.
Just do that,
That
yeah.
won't get annoying at all.
That won't get annoying at all.
Okay, so I saw the play, first of all. Let's
Yes.
just get this over with. Beautiful show. And it's funny because when it started, it's one of those plays, Danny Burstein is your co-star. We love Danny.
I love him so much.
He has sat in that pleather before.
Which makes me really excited.
You feel him
yeah,
on there?
I do. I feel him here. I like it.
To me, it's like comfort food theater. That's what made me think of it. Just really satisfying, really emotionally rich. Two characters. You actually want to listen to what they're saying. You actually appreciate the dynamic. So what do you love about it? That's what I love about it.
I like knowing what you love about it. I love all of those things about it, too.
Yeah.
I'm not just trying to repeat everything you're
No,
saying,
that's okay. So
I do
did you
really-
know the play?
I didn't know the play. I was completely ignorant to the brilliance of Lanford Wilson, and that's an embarrassing thing to admit, but it's true, and now I am, and have read many of his plays since I decided to do this, and am a complete Lanford Wilson nutball now, because I think he's really an incredible, a very funny, emotionally rich, copying you, playwright. And it's odd to me that this is the first time the play has been revived in 32 years, I think. It won the Pulitzer in 1979 or 1980.
Right.
It just seems, they're reviving, any Tennessee Williams play every 5 minutes, and Lanford Wilson gets no love. I think it's time to bring back the Lanford Wilson.
Let's do it.
We're moving to Broadway.
All of them.
Yeah.
So this Danny Burstein character.
Yeah, what about it?
Did you know? I mean, first of all, you're one of those people, you know everyone in the theater world.
Yeah, I do. I know everyone.
You're
Everyone.
one of those. You
God,
just walk
it's
into
just-
any opening night
I
party,
do,
and
I'm
all
just
your friends are there
fielding
celebrating.
so many people, some
Did
well-wishers.
Did you know Danny?
I did not know Danny, but I did. We have about 17,000 friends in common, where we both were kind of like, how is it that we don't know each other?
Right.
And I am madly in love with him. I mean that really legitimately. It's embarrassing to admit. Sorry, Rebecca Luker. Sorry. I love Rebecca Luker. I'd marry them all, both of them. They're like the greatest couple in the history of time. It's rather irritating.
Have you seen him in anything?
I had only seen him prior to doing this play. I'd only seen him in South Pacific.
Okay.
But then while we were rehearsing, I went to see one of the last performances of Golden Boy.
Right.
And I thought, I loved that production, and I thought he was magnificent in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you go to musicals?
I do.
You're a dramatic actress. I just wonder if you support the musical theater.
I do love the musical theater. I guess the last musical I saw was
South Pacific,
maybe
starring
South
Danny
Pacific.
Burstein.
I really don't feel like, I don't know what the, oh no, that's not, Peter and the Starcatcher's not a musical.
Nope.
I loved that.
I don't think you go to musicals.
I do. I really do. I just think the last one I went to was South
Did
Pacific.
you?
I watch Smash.
Oh, you do?
I'm obsessed with it.
Are you really?
It's really something I try to keep to myself.
Oh, wow. So let's talk about this. What do you love about it?
I love that it is so trying to be such a representation of what it's like, and it's not.
Right. So you.
And I'm sort of watch it in this way where you watch something really curiously. And to me, it's like looking at if I were in some, I don't know, American Horror Story. If I was in James Cromwell's laboratory, it would be like looking at an odd thing from the past. Smash the TV show. I'd be like, what is that? What is that? But I can't stop watching it. I watch it. I download them when I miss them.
Wow.
I'm really into it.
Wow, #1 fan. So
#1 fan of
the ratings
Smash.
Are
I
slipping,
love that.
but
I
not in your
know.
household.
Not in my household.
Is
I
it
love
gonna
that
be
Deborah Messing. I love Christian Borle.
Wow.
Borle. Is that how you say
Borle,
it? Love
sure.
it. Love him. I love a musical. I used to
Have
pretend.
you ever done a musical when you were a kid?
I lied and told everyone I was on the short list for Annie the movie when I was a child.
Did you really tell
I really
everyone that?
did. It was to me, it was like how I became an actress. I was a really good liar. I was a child. I moved from Tampa, Florida to Brooklyn.
Right, which I want to talk about.
I moved to New York, and when I was a new girl in school, and I pretended, all kinds of things. I had postcards from like little museums I had visited, and I pretended that that was my dad's house in Florida, and people believed me. I lied a lot.
Do you still, is there still a little touch of this in you? Do you still?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you ever catfish anyone online? Do you do any of that, any of those shenanigans?
No.
Do you know what that means? Do you
No.
watch?
No idea. No idea, but I'm just saying
You don't
yes
watch
to you.
catfish?
What is catfish?
You like people hooking up online with fake
No.
personas.
Oh no, I don't do any of that.
You don't do, you're not
No.
like one of those.
No,
Well,
I'm
I
not a
don't-
weirdo.
Yeah, okay, you're not a weirdo.
not
you
a
just,
total
but you just-
weirdo.
so you told everyone,
I told everyone, but
I might
did,
be in the movie Annie.
I
I'm
said
on
I
the short
auditioned
list.
for the movie Annie.
Uh-huh.
I revised it to make it the short list now that I know if such a thing exists as a short
Right,
list. As
right.
an 11-year-old, I didn't know about the short list, but I did, know enough to say I had auditioned several times. And I think it was Aileen or Eileen Quinn who got
Aileen
the movie.
Quinn.
Yeah. And I,
Were
made
you
a-
furious when that little girl got that part?
Yes.
You didn't actually audition for it.
No, I didn't audition for it, but I did sort of convince myself that it kind of happened. I told the lie so much. I also said I was friends with the girl Heather O'Rourke in Poltergeist. I did. I
You're
really
a
was
little
like
liar.
Yeah, I was.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah, it was-
But you've
I've
reformed?
well,
Yeah, I don't know.
I've grown up, let's say that.
You actually did a play when you were like 12 or something, right? In New York?
I did a play called Amelia Again. I was 15.
Oh,
I was
okay.
at high school, Performing Arts High School.
And you
where
went to the
Danny also
Performing
went.
Arts High
10
School?
years prior to
Oh.
my time there, just so you know. He's a little older than I am.
Your characters are also supposed to.
Yeah, and that works there too, but he's literally 10 years older than I am.
So-
I just want everybody to know that.
Why did you want to do this? What made that little girl get on that stage? Or you were going to the performing arts school, the professional?
Yeah, not the professional
children's?
children's school. That's the girls and the boys who like actually have jobs as actors.
Oh,
I
so
just
you went to LaGuardia,
I did,
the Fame School.
the Fame School.
But why? Why'd you want to go there?
I wanted to be an actress, I think, from the moment I'm sure I came out of the womb screaming Stella or something. Do you know what I mean? I was just an actress right away.
So you were that little girl.
I was.
Were you like at the family holidays?
Oh, there are photographs of me singing Annie at the top of my lungs. I have the world's worst singing voice, truly. And I would just belt it out, and there's all these pictures of me doing it. And what I've never seen are pictures of my family, like, going like that. But I promise you that
They encouraged it.
they did. They encouraged it. I don't know. Yeah, my grandmother, I think, wanted to be an actress deep in her heart. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, and I actually kind of look like her. It's weird. But she never pursued it. It was never. She never felt like that was really an opportunity for her.
You have a very great life.
I
think,
do?
I think your life's pretty awesome.
Oh, awesome.
It's
I'll
been
take
great
it.
watching you get this amazing work in Hollywood, getting recognition for it. American Horror Story was like my obsession this whole.
It was a
the
crazy
second-
season,
this-
huh?
oh my God.
Yeah.
We're going to talk more about
Okay.
that. But I'm also crazy jealous that you know Jessica Lange because she just seems like the most amazing woman ever.
Yeah, she's a pretty great lady.
And I read somewhere though that you saw Frances when you were a kid.
Yeah, Frances was, I think, kind of seeing that movie. I was 14 years old, or 15, I think. I think I was probably 15 years old, and I was flipping channels on a weekend, and I came across the movie on cable, basic cable, I'm
Right.
sure. And it was midway through the movie, and I didn't know what it was, and I hadn't really seen Jessica Lange before, and I just thought, what is this? And she would sit in the front seat of the car and look towards the house, and I could see in her face, in a completely silent moment, a combination of longing, terror, dread, sorrow about this house and what was in there. And it made me think, if whatever that is, I want to do that. So I sort of always think that she's the person that really made me know that it was for sure something I wanted to do. And then I auditioned for Glass Menagerie and did that on Broadway for 6 months.
What was it like the first time you met her?
I'll never forget the first time I still have the piece of paper, I'm sure, somewhere in a box that said, you have your final callback with Jessica Lange for Glass Menagerie. I was in the room before she was, because it was the Republican convention was happening, and so she was coming from all the way downtown, so she was stuck in traffic. So I was early, and I was sitting in the room with the director, with David Laveau and Pat McCorkle, who was casting it, and I was sitting on the floor, and I was looking at my script, and then I heard, this is my imitation of Jessica's shoes coming down the hallway. And I'm not kidding, out of my mouth came the phrase, "Oh dear God." And it wasn't conscious, it just came out of my mouth.
Right.
And everyone in the room sort of looked at me like, oh boy, are you gonna lose your mind here? And she came in and was so lovely and kind and nice and scary, as
Yeah.
she is, in the best way.
Yeah.
And It was really lovely.
I loved that production of Glass Menagerie.
Really? You're the only one.
No, but I loved it.
I mean, no, that's not true. The New Yorker liked it. Hilton Als liked it.
Me and the New Yorker.
You and the New Yorker.
Well, I love.
The only people that actually didn't really like it
I
was
love
the New
watching
York
her
Times.
on stage. I mean, I'm obsessed. I'm a little obsessed with her.
She's a stage beast, I think, and people don't really give her enough credit for
Yeah,
what she does.
I feel like Broadway's really mean to her.
They are, and
I don't like how mean people. I think
Broadway,
people are,
stop being
that's
mean.
That's Broadway,
Oh.
and they're mean.
Broadway should suck it. To me, I know many people who saw her streetcar production who said it
Yeah.
was the best, they had seen, and
Yeah.
I know many people who saw her production of Long Day's Journey in London and said it was the best Mary Tyrone they'd ever seen, and
Right.
some pretty spectacular people who have said that to me, and to her.
Yeah.
So, I feel like
You think we burned it? You think Broadway burned it? Do you think she would do another show on Broadway?
I think she's coming back.
Yeah, she'll come back. Do you want to lay out all the plans?
No, I can't do that, but I think she'll
You
be
really like soon?
I just think she'll be back.
Nice. Now I'm excited. That's something
I
to be
don't-
excited for.
I don't know for
no,
sure,
it's all right.
but
I'm
not
taking
saying
that as a
anything.
positive. She's coming back, people.
You didn't hear it from me. I don't know what it'll be, but I think
Would you like to do something with her again?
if I could only act with Jessica Lange, it would be a great.
Your entire career.
Yeah, and I've been lucky enough to do it on multiple occasions now,
Yeah.
and I can tell you it's all you hope it will be and more.
Wow.
She's
Wow.
very, and some actors you work with off camera never kind of give you what they give you when the camera's on them.
Mm-hmm.
She's the opposite of that.
Mm.
She's the real deal. She's the greatest.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm living vicariously through you.
Yeah, we're not in a relationship, even
Well, I
though you
want
can
to
read
talk about the
about.
National Enquirer
Okay,
because
go ahead.
I'm wondering what it's like to be tabloid fodder.
That had never happened to me except for when I did Studio 60. There was something in the Enquirer, and it said, "Gay is the way" for Studio 60 star Sarah
Gay is
Paulson.
the way.
And it was because of Cherry and my relationship, and that was the first time I'd experienced it. My manager was like having a hysterical attack, and I was just like, whatever.
Right.
And it was only, I think, specifically news because I was playing a very right-wing
Right.
Christian
Right.
girl.
You were
And
playing
so,
Kristin Chenoweth.
Essentially.
Maybe. What's it like to get cast as Kristin Chenoweth? I mean, you and Kristin Chenoweth have nothing in common.
We have about as much in common as a rhinoceros and a mouse.
Right.
I'm the rhinoceros in that scenario, just so you know, because she's tiny. She's a
So did
tiny
you like
person.
in your dressing room at that show? Did you have like pictures of Chenoweth all over? for
No, because Aaron
inspiration?
Aaron Sorkin spent a lot of time saying that's not what it is.
It's not
a
her."
combination of whatever. And I was like,
Right.
yeah, okay, dude, whatever you say. Yeah, so tabloid fodder. Yeah, it was not. I didn't love that National Enquirer story or Daily Mail, whatever it was about Jessica and I
Yeah.
being in a relationship. It was
was
just like
odd.
the idea, and it only happened because I was with an older woman.
Right.
For 7 years,
Clearly
and
you like
I'm
older
friends
women.
with Jessica Lange, so therefore we must be boffing, and
Right.
it's like not happening.
Right.
So, there are
Right.
worse things to be, worse people to be linked to.
Right, exactly.
I'll take it, but you
You
don't
know,
like
it's
to
funny.
have your friend.
I was Googling you right before you walked in this room.
Sure.
And I also found this weird thing that said like you got secretly married to your longtime partner. I mean, they never said the person's name.
I'm completely
so I was,
single.
you're not
with it.
married.
I'm not married. I'm not dating anyone. I'm not with anyone. I don't know what they're
You're with
talking
Danny
about.
Burstein
I wish.
8 times a week. At
I
that
wish.
Beautiful show.
I would take that man and put him entirely in my body.
Would he wouldn't fit.
I could make him fit. I'd stuff him
The
in there.
visual of that
Sorry.
is going to
His
haunt
little feet
Rebecca
just
Luker
dangling out. Yeah.
for decades.
I'll put her in there too. This
Oh
interview is
my
gonna
God, I
come
don't know
back
what
to
we're
haunt me
talking
and
about
endanger
anymore.
me. I know, but it's fun, right?
It is fun. Thank you for being here. We're not done. So speaking of Jessica Lange, American
Yes.
Horror Story, let's talk about this a little bit.
Okay.
Lana Winters.
Yeah, greatest
Like-
name ever. Lana
Like one of my
Winters.
favorite TV characters ever. I mean, the second season, the very beginning, it was kind of hard to tell where it's going, which is one of the
Sure.
great things about this show. You were this really interesting character, this lesbian journalist who got thrown into the ward.
I know, all for being
And then it ended up
Snoopy.
being all you. Like the arc of the whole season ended up being
I
about
didn't expect that to happen. I don't know if they knew that was going to happen. I knew, when we started, we had the first 4 scripts, which took me from the pilot to the episode where I've got my hands in my pants and am having to aversion conversion therapy with Zach.
good stuff.
That was a good episode. And so I knew that much was happening. And then episode 5 was when it's revealed that he's Bloody Face, and he took me to his home. And
Spoiler.
spoiler, but if you
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet, you're
They're-
way behind, and so you
You people
deserve
that are
a
going to
spoiler.
watch it on Netflix, you need to watch it.
Yeah,
watch it as it happens.
Yes, and so it became very slowly a thing.
When you're watching that show, it's terrifying. I know some people who can't watch it. Because
Yeah, I
they're
have a
too-
hard time. Even doing it, I had a hard time.
Well,
watching
what's
it.
it like on the set? Is it,
You
or is
know,
it just so clearly fake?
We would
and-
find ways to have a little bit of levity. You know, we've talked about this a lot, but you know, there was a scene where the very first day we were shooting practically, I was looking at Evan Peters' nutsack, and Lizzie Bruchere, I can't say her name because she's French and that's hard for me. Lizzie Bruchere,
All
I don't know what it is, something like this. And it was just like they didn't tell them to put the, I think they didn't know to put the bits on the bits. And so it was just a lot of bits in my face. Jessica was about to cane them, and I was just like, this is going to be the one hell of a year. That this is what I'm, this is day one. Day one was that, and my electric shock therapy was in the first day. And I was just like,
Is there a
okay.
lot of humor on the set?
Yes, I mean, yes and no. The stuff when I was being held captive, those were some dark days. I'm not going to lie to you. I was strapped down to the bed, and I would never really consider myself a kind of methody actress, but I didn't want to get up. I didn't want them to untie me, because the idea of going to my cast chair and getting on my iPhone just sort of, when I was
Yeah.
supposed to be in this state of, it just didn't feel right to me. So those were hard days.
Did you sleep there those nights?
I didn't, but you know, I had like my face in the pillow a lot because it was just very emotional and awful.
Yeah.
But I was very grateful for it because it was a lot of scenery to chew on they were giving me. So I wasn't complaining, but it was.
So that Ryan Murphy guy,
Yeah.
he employs a lot of theater actors.
He sure does, doesn't
It's
he?
so awesome.
Well, he's done the kind of most incredible thing, I think, we are essentially a television rep company, is what it is.
Yeah.
There's 5 or 6 of us who've been on every single season. I was in very few episodes the first season, and all of the
Right.
episodes the last season, and who knows what will be this year. But, you know, it hasn't been done. I mean, I can't think of another show where that's been done.
Yeah.
It certainly hasn't been done. I don't know, it feels like Playhouse 90 in a way. It's like, you know, and there are these 13 episodes that stand alone. The story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, you know. It was very hard to say goodbye to Lana Banana, because I'd never started playing a character at, you know, 32, and here she is wanting to be taken seriously as a reporter, and ending the season as a rich old lady who murders her son.
I want like a Lana Banana TV show.
Everybody, when we were doing the stuff of me in the 70s, everyone was like, oh my God, we've got to do the Lana Winter show in the 70s, like Mary Tyler Moore style, only it's a drama. And
Yeah.
it's like you're exposing shit and you're doing stuff. And I was like, just where do I sign? I'll do
That'd be
it.
so awesome.
I got to wear those like crazy balls and fur coats, and it was really...
But don't you think it's also kind of like one of the greatest lesbian characters ever on TV?
Yeah, because it was sort of, what I loved about it is it wasn't about that really.
Right.
And she was sort of, this is just who I am, and there's so many
Yeah.
other things that are going on that have, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
I loved that. I loved playing her
Yeah,
so
I
much.
love that lady.
I can't wait to see what they're going to do next, and I'm also like, please let it be as good or as fun.
So do you know? I know
I-
it's like, there's
I
all this stuff
don't.
about like witches and Kathy Bates.
Yeah,
And
Kathy Bates, I think, is happening. That's
Kathy
happening.
Bates is definite.
Kathy Bates
Yeah,
is
that-
happening.
that we can
Franny
confirm.
Conroy's happening. Evan Peters, Thaisa from the first season will be back.
I'm sure all the musical theater people out there want to talk about the name game. That was a great moment.
That was a
I want
great
to talk
moment.
about it.
I'll talk about it all you
That was like
want.
kind of a Glee, American Horror Story morph.
Yes, we
moment.
actually, the guy that choreographs all the Glee numbers
Yeah.
was choreographing all of our stuff. And I mean, the sad news is that we were in that same room where they all rehearsed the numbers, and just thinking about all those Glee kids, like, woo! They're just like all flying through the air, all excited. And there was Jessica and me and Evan, like, the name game, woo! Like just not succeeding at all. And, you know,
Were you
really,
terrified?
It was scary. But also I knew Ryan wanted this kind of like thing where Lana didn't really know what was happening, but she was participating. And then he wanted, you know, Kit and Lana to, it was the first time we smiled on the show in about 4 months. I mean, that's the truth.
Yeah.
So he really wanted us to go for it. And we shot that for like 15 hours. It was all day long.
Wow.
And by the end of it, we were just like, somebody make it stop. Make it stop. But that was Jessica singing. She went into the studio and recorded that. And
Wow.
I just think it's great. I think they even put it on iTunes.
Yeah, that's everywhere.
Somebody should buy
it's like
it.
huge. That song
know.
like blew up. It blew up. Let's talk about the lesbian thing, may we?
Okay.
Do you, you've said that you sort of accidentally came out when you were dating Cherry Jones?
Uh-huh.
Because on the Tony Awards,
Well, I was with her.
You were on
and
TV.
I was on TV, and
I mean, I
she
guess
won.
before
and
that, the theater community
the theater
knew you were
community
dating.
knew,
Right.
but yeah, there's no way to make more of your information known than to have the person you're with win the award.
Right,
What
so
am
you
I
didn't,
gonna
like, shake her
What am I
hand
gonna do? Be
when she
like,
won.
good, have a
Yeah.
good time up there. Congratulations to you. Like it just was what it was. But you know, I don't know. It's potentially dicey conversation because it's a fluid situation for me. I'd only ever been with men prior to meeting Cherry. So, you know, what my future holds, I do not know. That's going to be deeply unpopular with my lesbian fans, but that's just the truth.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm not dating anyone. I haven't dated anyone since she and I broke up. So, you know, I don't know what's in store for me. I don't know. Are you single?
You're still sort of living life and see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't know. I have yet to
Fall in love.
Fall in love.
Right.
And to me, what happened to me with Cherry was very person-specific. And because it had not happened to me before, I couldn't say to you, oh, I was just deep inside, I always knew something. And I can't honestly say that that's true. I don't know that it's not. I don't know the answer.
But you seem to have such a cool attitude about it.
Well, it's just because I just know that that's just my truth. Everybody's story is different. And,
Right.
you know.
It's interesting, though, that you just played this lesbian character.
Yes, I
And
surely
like I said,
did.
like one of the best lesbian characters
It really was.
ever. So you're a lesbian hero no matter what you are.
Yes, and I very well may end up with a woman. I very well may not. I may end up with a sheep.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Well, next time you're
It
on,
may be a dog, a
meet
sheep, a llama.
We'll meet your sheep
A
friend.
male, a female, I don't know. I'm open. At this point, I'm starting to get a little desperate. I'll take whatever comes my way.
But did you? What I wanted to ask about it was, did you ever feel any sort of fallout in terms of your career at all?
No, but I remember like someone, which I'll tell you afterwards when the cameras aren't rolling, who said, you know, gee, I hope Sarah, just said this to another person who then told me this, I hope Sarah isn't with Cherry for her career. And I was like, yeah, being with a 50-year-old lesbian does a lot for your career. That's surely going to just skyrocket me to the top of every list of everything. Sure. It's going to change it all. Magical. That's like tantamount to going out with Tom Cruise, you know, or something.
They thought you were like the Anne Heche.
Yeah, it was like, you know, it's going to change every, you know, I was climbing, I was like, what? It's not going to do, it did. No, did I feel a fallout? I don't think so. I don't really know.
Right.
I certainly didn't feel one, but
Your career's thriving.
my career, you know, but we're not together anymore.
How's that? You were just nominated for a lot of stuff for Game Change. A lot of stuff for Game Change. Where you got to sort of roll your eyes at Sarah Palin for the whole movie.
Sure did. Not a hard thing to do.
Which is like a great thing to get
Yeah.
to do. What do you like doing that award show stuff? Is it fun to be in a room with all those people?
You know, before I had ever been nominated for anything, I thought it would be the most fun thing ever. And now that it's happened, I'm just like, oh, God.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun because I like to put on a pretty dress and I like to see people. It sounds so, I mean, I remember I used to hear people say this and I'm like, shut up! It's so exciting to be nominated. And it's just like, people are like, oh, I just get to see my friends. And it's really true. Like
Right.
some people you worked with 10 years ago that you haven't come across. And that's really fun. And I'd been nominated for Studio 60 in 2006 or 7
Yeah.
for a Golden Globe, and hadn't had anything since then. So it was nice because it made it feel like that first time wasn't a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I felt like, oh, maybe.
Do any like you get to meet? Does anyone like dazzle you, like famous people, and then you get to like meet, or you just kind of like, is it very you're over
Oh
it?
no, I get, you know, Tom Hanks produced Game Change, and I remember like when we were going to New York for the premiere, I was offered a seat on the HBO plane, which I didn't take because it just made me too uncomfortable, the idea of like getting on a plane. And there was like Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson. I was like, no, I'm out. I can't be on the like tiny little private plane flying like to New York. I don't know what you think I'm doing, but I'm wearing my pajamas. I've got, you know, like I did the whole thing maybe. But you get starstruck with the whole situation. It was like the idea that I was offered the whole thing made me so uncomfortable. I was like, no, I'll take the airplane with all the other people. Thank you very much. I'm
Right.
very easily starstruck.
Uh-huh.
There's no question about it. I was a fan before I was an actress,
Yeah.
you know, a professional actress. So
Yeah.
that's why I never get, people are like, you're so nice to people who come see your show or something. It's like, but if it weren't for them, nobody would get to do anything.
Right.
So
You need the fans.
you need the fans, and I'm happy to, I don't know.
I also want to tell you, you do have a movie in your past that is like one of my favorite like random cult movies that I love to watch.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
Which one?
Down with Love.
Yeah, I love Down with Love. It's a good movie, right?
It's a good movie. That was that movie that came out. They did a counter-programming thing against the Matrix sequel that summer, and it was
is
like,
that what it was?
Yeah, and I don't
People
think
were
that
like,
was
"No,
such.
we're just
People were
gonna
like,
go see The
no, we
Matrix."
really want to see the Matrix. And the movie made no money and anything like that. But that was
Maybe I just like you in the '60s.
yeah, something about the
The Land of
I've
Banana.
done
Like
that a
Land of
lot.
Banana could have wandered through that
She
movie.
sure could have.
Yeah.
She sure could have.
That's a fun little movie.
I love that movie.
If it was a hit, it probably could have made like a fun like Broadway musical.
Yes, but sadly it wasn't.
But It wasn't. But check it out.
Do check it out.
I want to tell everyone once again, they have to see Talley's Folly.
Yes,
It is
please
playing
do.
through, what, May 12th?
May 12th, yeah.
May 12th.
Yeah.
Big hit. It got extended.
Yeah.
Danny Burstein, Sarah Paulson. It's really good. It's at
you.
the Laura Pels Theater.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
See you next time.